Welcome to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Real, taking time out of your day to come watch this episode. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe for me. I'd really appreciate that as well. That's the best way you can support this channel and help me grow my content and grow this channel to where I'd like it to be. Everybody hit the like button for me on the way in on this video today. That also helps promote this video more in the algorithms, helps grow this channel more as well. Please share this content. I would really appreciate that. My guests would as well. If you would please share this episode with someone you know that maybe is interested in the topic we're talking about today. Please leave a comment below as well. We'd love to hear your guys' feedback. You can interact with myself and the guest on the panel and the live chat as well. Whatever we're talking about, just leave a comment there in the live chat. Pop in and say hello. We'll put it on the screen for you. And yeah, without further ado, let's get to the show. Welcome back to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman. Hope you guys are having a great day. Happy Monday to you guys. Yeah, weather's getting warmer. It's starting to feel a little more like spring this week, so that's good. No more of this cold crap, but yeah, great weekend as well to be a Cavs fan, and that's why I'm here today. So we're getting some film analysis today. I had my man Tune In on last week. Shout out to Tune In Sports. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. Great Cavs content creator. Go check him out. I pop in over there occasionally now as well, so I'll have a good time over there. Great guys, so go over there and check him out. Subscribe to him. But I had him on last week. We talked about the Cavs a little bit. Got his kind of mid-season analysis of what was going on, and I had some people hit me up, and they loved the show. And they also said, "Hey, Joseph, we want you to do some film breakdown. Like, would you mind?" My boy, my man Jared is a big fan of the show. He's like, "Hey, man, can we do some film analysis? I want to see you break down some X's and O's, especially against some teams in the playoffs, some things in the playoffs that they'll need to exploit against certain teams, and I think matchups. I think that'll favor the Cavs against teams like the Knicks, the Celtics, the Magic, and to make it all the way to the finals. We saw a team last night, the Memphis Grizzlies, who are second in the West right now. So you never know who you're going to be playing. But let's get into it. But before we get there, like Mike says, like, subscribe, and share. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button on the way in here, I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel, please. It's easy. It's free. Just hit the subscribe button. It really helps us grow. We're up and coming, so please hit the subscribe button. We need your guys' support and mightily, and thank you very much if you do. And he said, let's go, Monday Real. So, yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. Wasn't live last night. Quite frankly, I needed a break. I had some other personal stuff I was doing anyways, so... But some stuff related to the show as well. As I was doing a little special assignment last night, thinking the brainstorm or getting some stuff planned for down the road. You'll see down the road. So stay tuned. But yeah, so let's get into the first game here. The first game I'm going to break down. What do I have queued up here? All right, let's do the Memphis Grizzlies game first. So my first play I've queued up from last night. And again, these are things to me that I've seen from the Cavs this year. Just the way they're able to attack teams, exploit teams offensively, and how they put you in a bind. And if you're a team, when I watch the film breakdown, when I watch these teams all year, if you're a team that can't communicate well defensively, or you switch everything, which a lot of teams do in the NBA nowadays, a lot of teams nowadays, in my opinion, are not great defensively because they don't communicate as well. Bad teams play in silence. Good teams, they're always talking, they're always communicating. When you watch the Cavs, they're always talking, they're always communicating. When you watch the Celtics, high-level communication, right? The Thunder, high-level communication. Great teams communicate. It's so, but teams that don't communicate well, or maybe slack in some plays. I don't think Memphis is a pretty good team, but if you're slacking, if you're not in your A game that night, the Cavs will make you pay, and they'll make you pay in a big way where you're out of the game quickly. But last night's game was a lot closer than the other one. It was a lot more chippy. It was a closer game down the stretch. Had a fight in the middle of the game, so that was interesting. But let's get into this one here. And so my first play I have queued up for you guys that really stood out to me. I got a couple plays here from last night's game. All right, boom, Mitchell hits a shot. So here we go. Mitchell brings the ball up the court. And this is where I think the Cavs are a lot better this year than they were last year. And really the previous years. Let's go back, I would think, to 2023, right? Our first playoff run, you go back to last year. A lot of times the Cavs will play a lot of half-court, slow offense. I thought they would, be late in the shot clock at times, getting the shot off. I thought they were a little too slow at times. Their pace wasn't as good as I liked it. I would like it to be. And what I thought, playing at a higher pace, getting more early offense with this is here, they can use more to their advantage with the skill players they have, the pace they can play. And obviously Kenny Atkinson's done that this year. So here you go. You can see, if you go back here, as soon as Mitchell gets the inbound, or maybe I think this is in transition actually. So as soon as he gets the ball in play, the Cavs are going right in the early offense. And the reason why you want to push the ball in early offense a lot of times is because the defense isn't set yet. If you look at Memphis Grizzlies right now, they're look at Desmond Bane right here. He's just now turning his back to see what's going on. He's just now getting back. And as he's getting back, Evan Mobley's already coming up over here uh, to get the ball. And they're getting right in their early offense. And this play right here was phenomenal. And this is what happens when you get an early offense. You get switches like this, as you see there. So Mobley gets the ball. He catches it right here. Watch Jared out. And this is what the Cavs do so well this year that they didn't do well last year and in previous years. Guys are always moving. Guys are always doing something. They're either setting pick, they're screening for somebody else, they're cutting back door, their off balls movement's great. They're screening for each other. Guys are filling in the lane properly, spacing out the floor. Guys are always moving. There's always something going on. And when you have that much motion in an offense, that much movement, it creates so many problems for the defense, especially when you have the weapons the Cavs had. And you got a guy in Mobley this year who 7 feet, we know what he could do. I mean, the way he can handle the ball. And this play right here. So Allen's got the center on him. He's got the big. Memphis is switching. And especially when their Cavs are running the early offense, it forces pressure on Memphis where they're not even set. I mean, look at the center. His feet aren't even set. They're not really back yet. Desmond Bane just now set his feet, and Allen's already going to screen him. And you can see here, it forces the switch. Now Mobley has the big on him who you want, and a guy like Mobley, because he is so skilled enough, he can get by these guys that are slower than him. And then watch Donovan Mitchell here. So a lot of times the Cavs this year, teams will expect, in the past, this guy would come, Donovan would come here, he would cut back door, right? And maybe this guy would come up or Donovan would fill out there. But what the Cavs do is Donovan acts like he's going to cut back door right there. That little movement where he was going back door, but he stops, he plants his left foot. Allen clears out Bane. And so now you had the big on Mobley. And look at Garland just set this double screen here, basically. And you can see right there, he's beat. Number 14, the big. Mobley turns that corner. He's gone. He's beat. And so, I think he got there one dribble, too. And so it's little actions like that the Cavs run that really put teams in a bind. And he slams this with his left hand as well. Very impressive play there. But again, a play like that, we'll watch it one more time. You just watch how the pressure they can put on teams. Again, little movements. Allen's all right, already setting the screen. They're not set yet. Boom, we got the switch you wanted. Back, he's not back. He's beat. The center's beat already. He's not back in position to drop down and cover Mobley. And boom, easy bucket. And so again, getting in the early offense like that, the way the Cavs have been doing all year, really puts teams in a bind. And if you're not able to switch well or communicate, if you don't get back against the Cavs, they will make you pay. And so my next play I have here, let me see what I have to queue. This is an inbound play. And I have this drone up. So you can see here, I'll go big screen in a minute. Let's watch the play first. So Mitchell's going to inbound the ball, right? Max Strus is right here. Max Strus is going to space out. And this is just a simple little action. But again, with Evan Mobley's evolution as a player, his ability to shoot the three this year, and his ability to take guys off the dribble down to the post them up, or just go all the way to the basket, and then Donovan Mitchell draws so much attention. You watch this action here on the inbound. So Mitchell's going to fake the screen, and look at Mitchell's guy. He's dropped down, basically double teaming Mobley. Mitchell's wide open, right? And so what they did here was, and I'm going to try to draw this guy. This is my first time doing this with this whiteboard, so give me some grace here if it's a little off. But no, he's going to pass it into Mobley here, right? He's going to pass it into Mobley. Strus is going to space out. He's going to space out up here. He's going to space out up here. Strus is going to fill the corner. And Mitchell's going to go act like he's setting the screen. And when he sets the screen, his defender here drops. And Mitchell just shoots right up here to the top of the three-point line. Mobley's got the ball now. And so as you can see there, right, Mitchell goes to here. There's the two defenders. Mobley, if this guy goes with him, Mobley's got this guy probably beat. He could take him all the way to the basket and drive. If not, what you saw here in this play, both guys basically double Mobley. They get tied in on the screen. Mitchell pops out to the three-point line and gets an easy basket. It's a simple little motion, a simple play, not motion, but a simple action. But it's the little movements. Again, guys this year are always moving. They're always moving to a spot. There's always a goal, right? They always have they always have a destination on the court they're trying to get to. They know where to be to the right spots at the right time. And so, again, we watch this play here. I'll pull it up one more time. If you watch this play again, the inbound, it goes exactly how they want it to go. Simple basketball, simple reads. Guys read and react. Guys, again, Mitchell's guy drops down. He gets caught. Now look at that. Wide open. And the great part about this, too, is with the Cavs roster, the way they're constructed, all the shooters they have, if Luke Kennard cheats over here, you got Sam Merrill open. You got Dean Wade open. You got Max Strus, right? It's just a chain reaction. So if this guy fills here, if Jaren Jackson goes up to him and blitzes or shoots up to him, then we get a hand on him. You still got Dean Wade open. You still got Strus open, right? There's just so many options this Cavs team have. All these shooters, and then when you have a guy like Mobley, who's I think becoming a very underrated playmaker for his size, getting guys opportunities like this, open shots like this, and Mitchell, boom, automatic. But again, little things like that. And also what the Cavs have added. This really stood out to me as well. Speaking of DeAndre Hunter, right? We all know what DeAndre Hunter, his value, what he's brought defensively to this team, 6'8", right? The size he brings as a wing, 7'2" wingspan. But offensively, he's really finding a role in this offense and giving the Cavs another element, right? They were already a great offense when they added him. They were already 120-plus point a game offense. But then they add this guy, and you watch this here. So DeAndre Hunter's going to have a 6'1" guy guarding him. He's 6'8". This is Scottie Pippen Jr. guarding. He's a pretty good defender, but he's 6'1". You got a guy now with a 6'8" wingspan who could handle the ball like this, and has he's 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. He can handle the ball like this. And when certain matchups, you'll just see here, this is just a basic play up in transition. Mitchell's going to fill out to here just to space out the floor. He's going to cut through here, and it's going to leave a one-on-one opportunity in the middle of the floor for DeAndre Hunter to attack, and he gets right to his spot and a beautiful little mid-range pull-up. And these little mid-range shots really help you in a playoff series. You know, I know everybody tells live by the three, die by the three, and all this analytics and stuff, but in the playoffs, you have to be able to hit mid-range shots. You got to be able to make shots, create shots. And you go back to those Warriors teams. They had guys in Iguodala, even guys in Harrison Barnes at the three, and obviously when they got Kevin Durant, obviously, Andrew Wiggins even in that playoffs, guys who could hit mid-range jumpers, guys who can get those easy buckets. And this right here, this is you want to put a smaller guy on me? He's just going to take him off the dribble, get right to the spot in the nail, pull up, boom. I mean, look at that, rising up. That's 7'2" wingspan, rising up over a 6'1" guard. That's an element the Cavs have not had at that position. They now have it in DeAndre Hunter. And so another element this team has and why they've been so unguardable all year. And so my next play I have queued up. Let me read this one here. Okay. So one of my critiques with Donovan Mitchell in the past 2 years since we've had him, right, is I thought at times he would try to force the ball, force the shot a lot of times, force his jumper, right, not make the right play at times, not maybe get guys involved early on in the game. But I thought this play right here, to me, shows a lot of growth from Donovan Mitchell. This is late in the game, or late in the first half, at the end of the clock. So the game clock's winding down. They got to get a shot off. And a lot of times, I thought 2 years ago, and in the old offense with JB, he would force this shot here. He would do something crazy or maybe turn it over. And Donovan's a great, great player. We all know that. But I think he's doing a better job as the season's gone on, making the right play at time, getting guys involved. Because he draws so much attention that if he's able to get the ball out and make the right play a lot of times, he'll get guys easy buckets. You know what I mean? It's like you see a lot of these players nowadays, you know, they scored 30 points in the game, but they shot 9 of 29. But I scored 30 points. I had a great game. No, the hell you didn't. You didn't have a good game. What makes a great player is their ability to get others involved and get others easy baskets and get others open looks, right? If you have a great player like Donovan Mitchell, I could put Jared Allen down in the dunker position. He's going to get 10 to 15 points a game. I can put a guy like Max Strus in this play right here. And this is at the end of the second half. You see 4.1 seconds left. Memphis knows Donovan wants to shoot this ball because by nature he's a he's a hell of a scorer. So he's going to try to score at any moment. But he makes the right play here. You see John Morant cheats over, the big cheats over. He's got 3 guys on him. 2.6 seconds left. Well, Max Strus, you can't leave him open. One of the best shooters, pure shooters in the NBA. And Donovan makes just the right play here. And he really handles the trap well. Steps back, is patient, gets Strus a wide open shot. Boom, right at the end of the half. And that was a big bucket, too, to give you a 6-point lead at the end of the half. So, again, to me, Donovan Mitchell has really evolved his game as a playmaker as the season's gone on. And I think the more he does that, especially when you get in matchups against big games in the playoffs, right? When you go back to the game this year at home against the Thunder, I thought the reason why he struggled that night, now we still won the game, but I thought the reason why Mitchell struggled that night in that game was because he was trying to be too aggressive. He wasn't making the right play. He wasn't cutting out the ball as well. He wasn't, off the ball play wasn't as well. I thought he can get easy buckets back door, which he did a couple times. But I just thought, he was trying to force it too much. But in the games this year, like last night against a pretty good team, the second best team in the West, he did a much better job getting guys involved. Shots like that, not trying to force it, and then picking his spots of when to attack and when to take off. So, I think that's the big evolution for Donovan Mitchell. And then also, and to finish up this game, not to spend too long on it, was a great win by the Cavs, but Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome to me, everybody talks about the DeAndre Hunter edition. Obviously, that's how big that was, how we stole Jared Allen in that trade, right? We've done a great job in player development, but nobody really, I don't think we give enough credit for the Ty Jerome acquisition. And last year, we didn't really get to see Ty Jerome because he was hurt a lot most of the year. And so it was such an underrated signing. And especially to put him in this offense now with Kenny Atkinson, who he was with Kenny Atkinson in Golden State before he came here. So there's continuity there. Kenny knows him well. When you have two smaller guards that are 6'2", 6'3", like we have a Garland and Mitchell, I always have been under the assumption, a lot of people say, you have to have a bigger guard off the bench because you don't want to bring, if you're going to take out a 6'2" guy, you don't want to sub in for another 6'2" guy, right? You want to bring, if you're going to stagger their minutes, especially too, because you're not going to play them both all game long, Garland and Mitchell, it's better for certain matchups to have a bigger guard. Well, that's what Ty Jerome has given us. And not only is he 6'5", he's a bigger guard, but Duke can absolutely play. And shout out to Param John. He's in the chat. He said Ty should be sixth man, but Peyton about to win it. Yeah. But Ty should be in consideration for sixth man of the year. He's that important to this team, and he's that good. And last night, he's got off in spurts like this before. This is just a couple plays. This is your backup point guard. It's your sixth man. Being able to do stuff like this. Again, he comes Mobley has this, I think, let me rewind this 1 second. And so Mobley's got the mismatch in the post right here. He's got a good size matchup. Number 5 is decent size. Usually in the past, you would throw this down to Mobley. Like old school thinking would be hit the post, right? Which isn't a bad idea with Mobley. But you look at Ty Jerome, he sees the matchup. He's got a slower big on him. I believe that's Steven Adams. And Steven Adams kind of sags off him a little bit. And right there, that's a lot of space you're giving Mitchell, or not Mitchell, excuse me, Ty Jerome. And Ty Jerome's shown the ability to create off the dribble and shoot his own shot from three. And that's what he does right here. A step back three, money. And so, again, another element the Cavs have. When you have a guy like this, and you see his look there, when you have a guy like this that can do this off the bench, he's your backup point guard, and he's 6'5". He's a bigger guard, so you don't tax the other two guards as much. And he's creating his own shot like this. See, a lot of times with bigger guards, you look at the Warriors when they had the Splash Brothers in their run. They had Sean Livingston, a 6'7" guard. He was a great defender, had a deadly mid-range, but he wasn't a great three-point shooter. Ty Jerome's a hell of a three-point shooter, and he can create his own shot, and then he gets hot again. The next play comes right back down the court, steals the ball, number one. Great hands in transition, great activity, movement. And so he steals the ball, and he's pulling up in transition now. I mean, he's just pulling up, just, the hell with it. And I'm hot, heat check, bam. And it's a close game. Now it's an 8-point game. And the Cavs got all the momentum. And you see, again, when you have a guy like that off the bench, they did not have that. He said Steven Adams not with them anymore. He's with Houston. Well, that looked like Steven Adams, though. Maybe it wasn't Steven Adams. I don't know. I don't know all Memphis players like that. But whoever the big man was, he got cooked. Right? That wasn't his. Let's rewind that play. Who is number 15? Anybody know who number 15 is? I'm gonna look it up real quick because I want to butcher his name. I knew they had Steven Adams. I forgot. You're right. They did trade in Houston. But hey, whoever it is, he got fried right here. Step back jumper. He had no shot. Ty Jerome called game. Like Paul Pierce called game. He called game. It's so. But again, when you have those elements in your offense, of guys who could hit step back jumpers like that. And this guy's coming off your bench, 6'5", and the bigger guard, the things he gives you, it really helps. So who was that? Number 15. That is, who the hell is number 15? Oh, Brandon Clark is who that was, I believe. Was that Brandon Clark? That was Brandon Clark. All right. So, but anyways, Brandon Clark, Ty Jerome got you with a step back there. So, but yeah. But again, my whole point is, you guys get my point, is that Ty Jerome is another, Brandon Clark. But again, Ty Jerome has given them another element that they did not have 2 years ago against the Knicks, and they didn't have last year, even because he wasn't healthy. And so Ty Jerome has really been a big plus in this offense, and big plus defensively as well on both ends of the floor for the whole team. But he's another sign, another guy they brought in that I don't think gets enough credit, and I don't think people have given his impact as much spotlight as it deserves. And so, speaking of the Knicks, though, the next game I'm going to break down is the Knicks win on Friday night. And so here we go. I got these highlights queued up for you guys. There's a couple things from this game that really stood out to me here. And so the first one I'm going to go to is a play the Cavs ran against the Knicks that I thought really shows just how creative Kenny Atkinson's offense has been all year, but also now a guy like DeAndre Hunter and just little basic things he can bring in your offense. You'll see right here on this play right here. So this play right here, Mitchell's going to bring the ball up the court. Mobley's going to flash out to here. And so in the past, let me break this play down for you guys. In the past, right, this play, I ran this play all the way back in, I think it was 9th grade we ran this play. It was called 4-out motion. And so now this is a different play here, how the NBA guys run it. But when we ran it, a lot of times it would be your 1 here, your 2 in the corner. You would have your 4 here, your 5 here. Hold on 1 second. Your 3 here, right? So you would have your 1 here with the ball. Your 4 would be here. Your 5 would be down low. Your 3 out here. Your 2 out here, right? And a lot of times this guy, he would pass to the 4, right? And the 1 would go down and he would screen for number 2, for the 2 guard. And the 2 guard would run a curl cut, it's called. He would come here and he would curl into the basket, and the 5 would stay here and the 3 would be here, right? But what the Cavs do on this play, that's a lot more creative, a lot more better spacing. And I think when you have a guy like DeAndre Hunter who's 6'8" with that 7'2" wingspan, when he gets a smaller guy on him down in the post, he can make them pay. And that's exactly what they do here on this play. So let me draw it out again. Sorry for the crappy illustration if it looks not the best of drawing. But so what the Cavs are going to do, they have a lineup out there with Mobley, Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, Sam Merrill, and Ty Jerome, right? So they're going smaller. They got 3 guards out there, a forward, and a big and Mobley. And so with Mobley's playmaking ability, you can put Mobley out here at the 5, right? So Mobley's out here as the shit's going south. All right, so Mobley's out here at the 5, right? There's Mobley at the 5. Mitchell's at the 1, or we'll say the 1. You can put maybe the 2. We'll say he's at the 2 because Ty Jerome's out there. So we'll put Mitchell at the 2. You got your 4 and Hunter in the corner, and you got your 3 and Merrill, I'm assuming, and then your 1 over here in Jerome. And so what the Cavs are going to do, you saw the old traditional way, the 5 would always be right here. But a lot of times teams would run the curl. You know, they're hoping this guy would draw and you get the dump off, or he would drive on the right. But a lot of times it would clog the lane if you didn't execute it correctly. If you didn't have a guy at this spot here and coming off the curl that can make instinctive passes, he would turn the ball over, if that makes sense. And so what the Cavs do now, because they have so many options, the lineups they can put out there, Mitchell's going to pass it here to Mobley. Mobley's going to read this play. And what Mitchell's going to do, he's just going to park it right there, right? And Sam Merrill is going to come set the curl cut. And DeAndre Hunter has a smaller guy on him. Again, he has a 6'4" Landry Shamet on him. And Landry Shamet's been around the league as a shooter, but he's not the biggest of guards. And a guy like DeAndre Hunter, if he gets a guy like Shamet down in the post with a 7'2" wingspan, 6'8", it's pretty much a wrap. I mean, he should get fouled or at least get 2 points out of that. And the Chicago Bulls used to run the same play a lot in the triangle. They would do it more in the triangle setting with Scottie Pippen, because Scottie Pippen was a 6'8" guy, longer guy, but who could post up. And he had a smaller guy down in the post. Tony Kukoc did the same thing. Phil Jackson had those guys, Michael Jordan. Those guys, they would run the simple curl cut all the time, right? And so what we're going to do with Hunter, he's going to run a curl, and he's going to get the ball right here in the paint. And Mobley's going to get the ball right to him, right on time, and he's just going to post him up and spin off and lay it in. It's a simple little thing, but it looks simple. But in terms of matchups and in the playoffs and getting easy points and exploiting smaller guys on guarding guys like DeAndre Hunter, and you have a guy in Mobley at the 5 who you can do this with because he's such a good enough passer at the 5 to make the pass inside, and you have all these shooters out there, the spacing. It's such a creative little thing, but it's so creative and it's so effective too, and it's easy points. And that's what I like about this play as I bring it back up here. It's simple, it's easy, it's effective. And when we played the Knicks 2 years ago, the Cavs did not do a good enough job of exploiting their big matchups. They didn't impose their will, right? The Knicks imposed their will on us. When you run plays like this, when you got a guy like Landry Shamet guarding a DeAndre Hunter, and he's going to curl cut inside and get the ball in the paint, you're imposing your will. You're saying you're smaller than us. You're not as athletic as us. We're going to beat you down. We're going to run at you. We're going to run at the matchups. We're going to attack you, right? We're going to make you play. We're going to make you think. We're going to make you communicate. And the Knicks did not communicate well in this game at all. But here's the play here. So, again, Mobley's going to pop out, get the ball here. Merrill's going to set the screen. Curl cut inside. Shamet gets a little overpowered by Hunter there. Hunter gets the ball. Pivots back. Easy dunk. One more time. But, again, when you have a guy like this in Hunter now, and they're finding ways like this to get him involved in the offense and getting him easy buckets and exploiting teams. I mean, you got a guarding him. You know what I mean? And so it's a great design, great play design. Love the play. And they're little things like that. They're finding ways to get Hunter more and more involved. And so last couple plays I have queued up here for you guys. I'll go to this play now. And so let's stop here. In the past, this guy, Isaac Okoro, would come set the screen, right? And he would pop out to the corner. He would cut, but he'd pop out to the corner. But what Kenny Atkinson has done well this year, and what Donovan has really evolved his game, or a lot of times in the past too, Donovan would already be attacking and going baseline, right? Trying to force it, trying to turn the angle there, which it is open. But the Cavs play really smart basketball. They get easy buckets because they move the ball well. They take advantage of their matchups. And so you'll see here, the defense here, they're going to cave in on Donovan Mitchell. As soon as he makes his dribble right here, right, that little movement, right? So let's watch this one more time. Let's break this down. So they're in transition. Again, this is early offense. Remember, I go back to the beginning of the show where I talk about the early offense? This is early offense. You look at Bridges. He's just now getting set. He's just not communicating. They're not really set. They're just now getting back. And Isaac Okoro is already going and setting a screen. All right. And so what the Cavs are doing better this year, like I said, getting those easy buckets, is Isaac Okoro just needs to cut back door. And Mobley's ability to shoot the 3 this year, if Towns cheats down, well, Mitchell could just shoot it over here to Mobley. If Bridges shoots over, now I got Dean Wade. Oh, wait, he could shoot the 3. And then over here in the corner, I got DeAndre Hunter, who could maybe even if the play breaks down, he can even pop inside maybe for a layup or, it's a chain reaction, right? The Cavs can break you down so quickly. When they run their more early offense sets, more, quick actions like this, it's going to be hard for teams to beat them because you got to get back. And New York here did not get back. And so, and the way the Cavs executed this too, Isaac in the pass would have ran to the corner, or Donovan would have tried to turn the corner and try to force it, which worked a lot of times. But I think this is, again, Donovan making the right play and get the easier baskets. And so, again, quick offense. They're not set. Boom. And you can even see Kenny Atkinson standing up right there, right here. Kenny's yelling, cut, cut, cut. You can see he's yelling, cut, because it's wide open. They're not set. I mean, Towns just now got back. Bridges, you saw just now, is getting set. Brunson has his back to the ball he's the only backside help. His back's to the ball. And so he's just going to cut right to the basket. Easy money. And you can see that's why they're up 59-41 in this game, because they just did that all night long. And then the last play here I have from this game that really stood out to me is Max Strus. I love what they're doing with Max Strus here. Now, again, this is another early offense. All right. So 20 seconds. They just get past half court. Now, this isn't as early as the other ones, but they are moving more quick. There's more of an intention, right? They're getting to their stuff quicker, running their plays quicker. And so here comes Garland. Garland's going to bring the ball up to here. And this is why this play is so effective, because teams that switch a lot, that like to switch heavy, the Cavs have been putting them in binds all year. And so Garland's going to pass the ball to Mobley. Again, Mobley's at the top of the key, being a playmaker, because you get him you have a guy like this at the top of the key who could take guys off the dribble. He can make the right reads. You could do so many things, especially when you have shooters like these two guys around them. And so here goes Max Strus, just setting a simple back screen, maybe a flare. What's he running here? Let me rewind this. Hold on, my screen froze. All right, there we go. And so Max Strus is all right. So as soon as the ball is passed, Strus is already there. You know what I mean? So again, guys it's very decisive. They're getting right to their they're getting right to what they want to run, because they know if they run it quickly, they can get the matchups, they can get the switches they want to exploit. And so again, Max Strus, he's already coming and setting the screen, and he sets a hell of a screen. And you look at Mikal Bridges, he gets put in a bind here. And I think what they expected here was maybe Strus would cut back door. I don't know what they were thinking here, but Mikal Bridges, he's lost. You look, I mean, he just turns. He's got to sprint to the spot now. And by the time he gets there, Mobley's already handing the ball off to Max Strus. Again, you have a guy, Max Strus, who can hit a shot from way out here. And so if you really watch this play, what they're able to do, boom, he's okay. Screen's already set. They're not communicating. They have to switch now. He's trying to get back and recover. He's running all the way to the bench. He's running towards the freaking basically out. He might as well start running towards the tunnel. Mobley's already got the ball handed off and just turns and just screens Towns. This is easy money. I mean, if you give Max Strus this look 6 times a game, he's going to hit at least 3 of them. But again, you see, my whole point of this play, why I love it, is how decisive they are and how the tempo of the play. The execution is just flawless. I mean, it's just absolutely, and they're just exploiting teams that don't. If you don't communicate well, again, I mean, clearly they didn't communicate this screen well, because Bridges turned the corner and he had no idea what was going on, and that's on Brunson in the back to communicate with him and let him know what's going on. But again, the Cavs are always moving; they don't stand still. A lot of times in the past, it'd be more one-on-one. Everybody stand around, right? I remember I pulled up clips from the game we played the Knicks 2 years ago in that playoff series, and there was times we had Isaac Okoro in the corner going one-on-one. And what a waste of possession that is, right? Nothing against Isaac, but that's not the kind of basketball you want to play. That's not good basketball. That's the stuff we were doing in the past. This year, we're not doing that. You can see right here, by the time he turns the corner, Mobley's already handing the ball off to Strus. He doesn't have enough time. The Cavs, they're so fast in their execution. They're so precise. They're so the rhythm and the flow, the early offense. I mean, it's hard to guard. And then look at the personnel. You got a guy in Max Strus who's great at getting to his spots, and he can pull up from all the way back. He's damn near at the logo when he shoots this ball. And Bunny, how do you guard that 4 times in 7 games? You have to play perfect basketball to beat these guys. And so that's some of my film analysis of the Cavs and why I think they've been so dominant all year. Is how the way they're able to exploit teams and the way they're able to put teams in a bind. And just like I said, the execution and just how precise they are, the early offense, and then defensively as well. You go back to that Knicks series, because the Knicks could be a team that we play, obviously, in the playoffs. And so 2 years ago when we played the Knicks, right, Jalen Brunson killed us, especially in that game 4, that pivotal game 4 at New York. Our best perimeter defender has always been Isaac up until we got DeAndre Hunter, right? And so Isaac a lot of times was guarding. He would start off the game guarding Brunson. He did an okay job. It's a tough one to, Brunson's a tough player to guard. But once we took Isaac out of the game, and Isaac had to wear out a lot of energy that series guarding Brunson, you had Karis LeVert out there, not a great perimeter defender, and you had Chetty Osman guarding him. And we would try to pick guys up. We would try to pick Brunson up 3/4 of the court, right? And so this play here, I'm watching the game the other night on Friday night, and I don't have to play because this is late in the game. It was already a blowout. But I saw this little thing here Kenny Atkinson did.
And I think he was sending a message to the Knicks, but hey, we got a weapon for you now defensively that we didn't have 2 years ago. But guess what? We got him now, and his name's DeAndre Hunter. And just this little play this right here, it's not even a play, but just Brunson inbound. The Knicks inbound the ball on the side out there, and as soon as he starts bringing the ball up the court, he's got that 7'2" wingspan in Hunter shadowing him, guarding him. Right, and the reason why you want to do this, as I get my clipboard again, the reason why you want to do this a lot of times is when you pick a guy up 94 feet, 70 feet, whatever it is, 3/4 of the court. Not only do you want to pressure him, but the goal is you want to get them in the later off. You don't want them to get in the early offense, right? You saw earlier what the Cavs can do to teams that don't get back, and they can run the early offense. This here, you put pressure on the guard, and also it makes them, when you have a guy like Towns wants to get down to the block a lot. He can't play outside, but it makes Towns have to move up to the top of the key, and now they have to run their offense and by the time Brunson gets over half court, ideally you want to be able to hold this guy. You want to, so he inbounds the ball, right? It's 24 seconds on the shot clock. The reason why you want a guy to pressure as well is because you want to take time off the shot clock on the offense. So it's a defense's way of shaving more time. Now they have to run their offense with 16, 15 seconds left. Now they're running behind. They're late on the clock. You force teams into bad offense a lot of times when you have the ability to do what they're doing now with Hunter. They didn't have this 2 years ago. They had one guy that could do it. But as great as Isaac Okoro, as good as Isaac Okoro is defensively, he's not as good as DeAndre Hunter, in my opinion. DeAndre Hunter is very good defensively, and he's very he causes a lot of problems with his size, athleticism, his long arms. Again, this is something the Bulls had back in the day with Scottie Pippen, because they had a guy who could shadow the guard, and they could just, by the time the point guards a lot of times got past half court, it was already 18, 17, 16 seconds. Now they're running their offense now when it's 16 seconds left on the shot clock, right? A lot of teams like to have, you want more time. You want to get into more early offense to get them easier looks. But the Cavs now have a guy who can pick a guy up from here, and I'll put it up here. They got a guy that could say this is the back half of the court. Let's say this is the 3-point line, right? They got a guy now in DeAndre Hunter who could shadow Brunson, force him up the sideline. And by the time he gets to here, you got 16 seconds left on the shot clock. They got to run their offense there. We didn't have this element in the past. And this is something they can use in the playoffs as well against any team, really. You can use it against the Celtics. You can use it more. You play Orlando again and put them on Suggs. I mean, having a guy like this who can pick up a guy like that 94 feet on the guard and shadow and put pressure on with that 7'2" wingspan, that's going to be something. It's not something you'll do all the time, but it's an advantage you have now. It's something you didn't have, right? And it helps you more. And it's what makes this Cavs team even more dominant, in my opinion. And so that really, and you see the whole sequence here. I took pictures of it as I was watching, because as soon as I saw it, I took a picture of it and I sent it to my man TuneIn. And you can see the whole sequence here. Brunson's trying to call out the play. Hunter's there. Now he's got him boxed on the sideline, forcing him baseline, hand on the hip. And I think they ended up turning the ball over in this play, but you saw it. You saw just having that presence out there, that guy you can put on Jalen Brunson now. You got that guy now you can put on the other team's point guard. They didn't have that in the past. Now they do. And so it's another element they have defensively, another way they can really attack teams, beat up on teams, and apply pressure to other teams. We didn't apply pressure to the Knicks, like I said, and other teams in the past with JB. We weren't the teams opposing our will. The other team was opposing their will on us, especially in that Knicks series. Kenny Atkinson's done the complete opposite of that. He's attacking teams every night. We're going at you, guard us. If not, we're putting up 120, 130 points. Oh, by the way, we got Hunter now. We can throw on you on defense, on your guard, and we got the 2 7-footers. Like, the Cavs are a nightmare for anybody to play in a 7-game series. And what they can do as well, they can even run bigger matchups. Because you have a guy like Ty Jerome who's 6'5", you can run a bigger lineup now. And you have a guy in Hunter who's hitting the corner 3, right? You can run bigger lineups. You can put Hunter at the 3 and you could even put Isaac at the 2 if you wanted to, or Max Strus at the 2, who's 6'5". And you could put Ty Jerome. You saw his ability to create his own shot for certain minutes of the game. You can run certain lineups. You can go bigger. I could put the Twin Towers out there with Hunter at the 3, right? 2 7-footers. Now I got a 6'8", 6'9" guy with a 7'2" wingspan. I could put Ty Jerome with the point, who's 6'5", and I could put a shooter out there, Max Strus at the 2, 6'5". That's a big lineup. 6'5", 6'5", 6'8", 7'2", or 7 foot, 7 foot. They didn't have this in the past. In the past, we would run out there with, it'd be Ricky Rubio with Garland, or, and Ricky Rubio wasn't bad. He was 6'3"-ish, but he wasn't as athletic, or he wasn't as good a player as Ty Jerome, in my opinion. And he just didn't have the skill set and the things Ty can do to opposing teams. We didn't have a Max Strus back then either, who's 6'5". And so we have that now. So the Cavs have the ability now to run bigger lineups if they want, to help them more defensively, and still get good offense on the other end too, because the way they move the ball, the way they cut, the way there's always movement. They're always going to get good looks. There's always good looks in that offense. As long as guys make the right reads, the looks are going to be there, and they just got to knock them down or maybe get layups. So get to the free throw line, right? The more pressure you apply on teams, the more times you get to the free throw line a lot of times. So, especially in early offense. And so now you get teams in the bonus. So this Cavs team is for real. They can definitely win the whole championship. They can win the whole thing. They can win the championship. They can win the whole thing. And they're going to be a tough team to beat. Again, a team's going to have to play a perfect game, or damn near perfect, to beat them 4 times in 7 games. And Boston's great. Boston's a great team. Don't get me wrong. And that starting 5 with Holiday, White, Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis is very tough. But I think the Cavs now have the pieces to get it done. And the way they play basketball and the way they shoot, they're shooting 50-40, I believe, as a team. That is a high clip. I mean, I think they shot 60% the other night in that Knicks game. And you saw some of the reasons why on the film today, just how much the execution, the easy looks they get, how they're putting teams in a bind. That's why they're shooting 60%, and they have the personnel to do it. So, great time to be a Cavs fan. Hope you guys enjoyed this film analysis today. I'm going to do more of these if you want more. Again, this was requested from people, so I hope you guys enjoyed it today. I did my best. Not saying I'm the best or anything, but I tried my best, so that's all that matters. But I think you guys saw a lot of what I was trying to point out today. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Cavs, and who do you think could actually stop this team in a 7-game series? I don't know right now. I think right now they're the best team in the league. We're going to find out Friday night, though, when they play the Celtics. Big matchup, so we'll see. But like, subscribe, share all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Okay.